Welcome back. I'm Tedward, and today, thanks to Bond Group in Waltham, Massachusetts, we're driving a car that I would very much like to own. This is the ultimate daily driver, and it's a 2021 Mercedes-AMG E63S Wagon. I love a wagon. If it was green, I think my checkbook would be out. We've got 600 horsepower made into a 9-speed MCT transmission, all-wheel drive, and it'll get you to 60 in 3 seconds. Earlier in the channel, we drove the AMG GT63S. That thing was an absolute brute off the line, and I'm expecting this to be pretty similar. Although the numbers are a little just a smidge lower on this car, I don't think we're going to be disappointed with the driving experience. It's very cold out today. Let's just start it up. And I've learned from you guys, because I'm not a big Mercedes guy, but I've learned that if we hold a paddle when we start the engine, it starts up a little more angry. You get some crackles and pops, snaps and bangs on that startup, which is very cool. Before I show you the practical side, let me show you the maniacal side. Soft closed doors, all 4 doors, fantastic. Under the hood, this is where we've got our familiar 4-liter bi-turbo V8 for Mercedes-AMG. It's got a hot V. Those 2 turbos are stuffed right between each bank, meaning those intake and exhaust runners. Very, very short for improved throttle response, and this thing spools up very quickly. Headlights on these always look menacing, but we've got 265s in the front with these monster 6-pot calipers and a 295 in the rear just to put it down. So let's take a look. First of all, this exhaust, man, what a stance, what a statement. This E63S is just a monster. The diffuser looks beautiful. There's carbon accents on everything. We can open this very convenient hatch and look at this. All of this space, those rear seats are going to be able to go down for you, not a problem. You can fit all of your things, your dog, whatever, in the rear. Pardon my jacket, it is 18 degrees out. I just took off one jacket so it could drive a little easier, but thankfully we've got heated seats back here. Actually, a really nicely laid out cabin in the back, some storage back here, and then fairly beefy looking cup holders that I think should do the trick for whoever is in the back of this brute. And hopefully those hang on tight, because whoever's driving it is probably a psycho. From here though, you see the killer layout of Mercedes-Benz, because I know some people are not a fan of the dual LCD screens. It's growing on me, but I just like how everything is very simple and focused. And there's still buttons for HVAC controls, which is excellent. We've got a ton of glass on the roof that adds a lot of light to the cabin. Up front, we've got nice supportive chairs. This is a nut brown interior, I believe it's called. Maybe not the greatest name in the world, but it is gorgeous, so that's fine. Oh, I just love a good soft closed door. We've got the carbon fiber here, we've got the nut brown leather here, and then the stitching on the black on the top. I think that just really does a nice job of tying the whole room together. And just to make sure you feel special, get a big AMG badge on this bad boy. Got plenty of storage for stuff. I just like when cars allow you to put stuff places. You don't have to go hunting for a place for something to slide around. And then I really dig these vents. Everything is just tactile. Listen. That's good stuff. Steering wheel, a little overly complex for me. It's, man, Mercedes, I'm not digging like this deal where I have to like do kind of touch screeny things. I don't know, man. It's not for me. Just give me a scrolly wheel. It's a little bonkers, and I have a hard time navigating it when I actually want it, but whatever, I bet I could get used to it. And then down here, we've got our controls where we can put it comfort, sport, sport plus, race, and over here, I can turn on and off my sports exhaust. I can do all of these things in the center as well, but it is nice to have that in the steering wheel, and I think it looks really hot that you've got like LCD displays back here that are actually changing on the steering wheel. But enough about that. Let's go for a drive. Pop in and drive here on the stock, because if you're a Tesla guy, you've probably recognized that. They stole that from Mercedes. Let's go ahead and put it in Sport Plus. It's very cold. A launch control is not going to do us any good on these tires. So I'm going to roll into it, and we're going to see what she does to 60. This is brutal. Brutal. Hear that crazy exhaust come out the back. See what these paddles do. Incredible brakes. I mean, this thing is the definition of wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what you want to see. Amazing how it puts that power down in the corners too. I mean, you're just kind of experimenting to see, like, will it lose traction in the rear if you feed it a little bit, and it just hangs on tight. It's amazing how well it torque vectors. If you're wondering how it compares to the GT63S, this feels a bit softer in a lot of different ways. I mean, actually, suspension-wise, it feels softer. It's still a rigid, sporty car for sure. And the steering feels a little more muted. Kind of love short shifting it because that mid-range grunt is so satisfying. Real quick before we get out to the highway so we can really open it up, comfort mode. This is an important thing in a vehicle like this because we need to know, can it deliver the comfort and stability of a Mercedes-Benz, or what you expect from a Mercedes-Benz? Because this is one of those cars that you almost buy as a cheater car. You know, your family may be in need of the family commuter, something practical, but you are, you know, a closeted psychopath who absolutely needs the brutality of this 600 horsepower power plant. So, you know, that's where we need to be. So now she thinks I'm talking to you because I can't say the brand name. That's not good. But what I can do is say, hey, Mercedes, turn on massage chair.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
Hey, Mercedes, turn on massage.
I'm switching on the massage.
She's switching on the massage. Thank you. Let's get to the real business of this thing. What a beast. It's not even that violent. I mean, I feel like I just have all of the control, everything in my lap. Great steering wheel, great seating position. No concerns, man. This thing is awesome. I would love to own this station wagon. This is like the one car solution. This does everything. Like I said, it's very cold out today. I'm gonna be a little cautious about road temps, so we can't go, you know, bombing around corners in 18 degrees on slightly inappropriate tires. School zone, nice and easy. Respect the chillins. Traction control in Sport Plus mode really not letting me get squirrely at all. Send her along, Camry. Yeah, this thing is real Autobahn burner. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry I'm a little bit speechless just because I know what it looks like from the outside. I mean, I've looked at it. I just did a whole photo set on it for Bring a Trailer, and I'm like, this does that? It's just something else, man. This is the coolest. So let's unwind it a little bit. just chill. Get the heart rate down, cruising along, 65 miles an hour. I've got this incredible heads-up display up front, which gives me my tachometer, my gear, my speed, what the speed limit is, but that's all wrong. Don't worry about that. Because of all the glass in the thing, I've got great situational awareness. I have tons of visibility. There's no concerns there. It is a large vehicle, though. I mean, there's a lot going on here, and the technology for me, personally, is a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff going on, but all I need is this little scrolly wheel to put you in Sport Plus, and I know how to put my foot down, so we're just fine in that regard. It does operate as a car. Hey, Mercedes. Turn off massage.
I'm switching off the massage.
See, I have to do that because I genuinely don't know where the button is to turn it on. So I just gotta ask her, and she's pretty good about it. Of course, they will hog the left lane, but who knows what they'll do. All of the torque. This is great. So I don't know if it's just because I was raised in a station wagon. I didn't live in a station wagon, but my dad had a 740 wagon from Volvo in 1989. We put 341,000 miles on it, I guess, as a family. So maybe there's just this thing where I love wagons. It's like ingrained in me that wagons are cool. Wagons are good. Wagons, we go to cool places with wagons. So it's a shame because I'm pretty sure this is the end of the line for Mercedes and wagons, for now at least. I think they've announced that they're not going to be making this anymore, and that's a bummer because this, to me, is really all I want. Unfortunately, my salary did not increase fast enough to achieve some of the things I really wanted. But step into these brakes a little bit. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, even on cold ground. I backed off a little bit just because I didn't want to be triggering ABS the whole way down the hill. But yeah, this thing is competent. Backing off for traction. But my goodness, this thing really scoots. This is no joke. This accelerates like a supercar. That's what's crazy. It's not fast for a wagon. It's fast for anything. It's fast for an Audi R8. So even though the AMG GT63S is based on this wagon and the CLS, this is tuned completely different. The behavior of the E63S wagon is much more suitable for a daily drive. It's much more suitable as the family car. So don't expect to get in this and have some crazy hard-edged monster like that GT63. It actually does give you that plush sort of Mercedes vibe. That being said, it's not a Range Rover either. So this is not incredibly soft. This is not a Rolls Royce, but this air suspension is so choice. It's pretty impressive how it manages to do all of the things. I just love this steering wheel. There's this flat bottom. It's very sporty. It's chunky. And I'm not usually a huge fan of like big chunky steering wheels, but it feels right in this car. There's something that's very appropriate for it. Take it nice and easy. A Volvo wagon, we are far cooler than that, that's for sure. Volvo's got nothing on this. Be careful in case there's doggies. Yes, looks like doggies playing. We don't want to hit any doggies. In the GT63 video, I said just don't. You can't have kids who drive if you're gonna own this car. But this car, it's a lot safer. It's less squirrely. That rear end is a lot more planted. It's still far too fast for a 17-year-old. However, they probably could get away with not dying if they have some sense of responsibility. A lot of times when I get stuck behind traffic when I'm doing a video, it's a bummer. It feels like, oh no, now I'm missing out because I don't get to play. In this car, it doesn't really matter because like the comfort and behavior at low speeds, being a normal car, is actually really delicious. I know that doesn't come off on camera quite in the same way. Everyone wants to just see hoonery and drifting and all the crazy tire smoke, but the reality is that's not what most of us do with our cars, even when we do buy the crazy cars. You know, we treat them with a lot of respect. Everyone I know with like Ferraris and Lamborghinis tends to treat them with more respect than you can imagine. They're certainly not out drifting them. We're in race mode. Let's just send her and see what happens. A little more leeway from that rear end in race mode. That's pretty good, but still not a lot. It's still really keeping me in line. This is not a scary car by any stretch of the imagination, and 600 horsepower should sound scary, but it's really not. So that'll do it for the E63S AMG Wagon. This is a monster. I mean, really, this is incredible, but it's not as hard-edged as you'd think. It still delivers a very comfortable, classic family wagon vibe when you want it to. So this really could be the jack of all trades, the one-car solution for you. But if you need that hard edge, maybe you need something a little harder than this, but I think that I would do just fine with this. Thank you so much to Bond Group in Waltham, Massachusetts for the opportunity to drive a car that I've always wanted and now want even more. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. One of the cool features of this seat is that these side bolsters, they move dynamically. So if I chuck the car to the right, that left side bolster supports me. This isn't new stuff. I mean, we had this on E60 M5s, so not that crazy, but worth noting. You know, it's a tidy little cabin.